All right, this next one's great in regards to the Ole Miss spring game or spring contest, whatever you want to call it. Z17. Will more teams adapt Ole Miss format, or is this a one and done attempt?
Well, I think it's an interesting thought, right? Because spring games can be super valuable. They can be super valuable. You have your young players in front of a crowd. It's the most game-like atmosphere you'll experience all off season. You might have 400, 500 friends and family members in attendance in the scrimmages. You'll have your fan day in the fall, but those aren't comparable to what you're going to experience when you walk into the stadium and you're dealing with crowd noise and things like that. So I do think a mock game can be really valuable, but I also think mock games can work against you. And one example was with what Texas had to deal with last year. And Texas last year had a backup quarterback named Malik Murphy, who has since transferred to Duke. And Malik Murphy went out in the spring game and balled out. I mean, absolutely balled out. So guess what happens after that? Everyone and their brother is calling Malik Murphy's people and like, hey man, if you want to jump in the portal, we might have a home for you. So if you have a guy that flashes like that, that's not in line to be a starter in the fall, maybe they'll leave, much like Malik Murphy did prior to the Sugar Bowl game last year. So that I think can work against you. But at the same time, man, I thought it was fun. And spring games are essentially supposed to be fun. And you don't want to show anything. And you don't want guys to get hurt, right? I mean, that's the last thing you want in spring. Goal of the spring is don't get anybody hurt. Well, it's hard to get hurt during a hot dog eating contest. It's hard to get hurt during a tug of war. It is possible to get hurt during a slam dunk contest, but probably not as likely to get hurt throwing it down as you would be in the trenches working against your offensive and defensive lines. So I do think that, look, Lane Kiffin's going to be creative. He's going to think of it in a different way. He's going to create competition. But at the same time, he also didn't want any of his backups to potentially shine and then ultimately get in the portal and go elsewhere after the spring. So I think it was a thoughtful way of maybe doing it moving forward. And I wouldn't be surprised if more teams kind of go in this direction here in the years to come. It shows personality. The guys were having fun. And frankly, it was just a glorified way of showcasing your program and looking how much fun we have being good. That I think resonates with the modern player. And like I said, I think these are here to stay and we'll see more like it in the future.